Should mute. All right, we are live. I have got some rock star mamas with me, and I'm so excited. I know this is going to be, and actually, you know what I'm going to do? Let me do a raffle now, so I give them time to jump on. I'm learning to slow down, people. I'm learning to slow down before we speed up. No, I'm not. I'm definitely not. Lindsay, I almost wore like a shirt just like that, by the way. I was like, oh, but then I put my makeup on. I was like, oh, I'll get white all over. That's just not going to happen. So let's do raffle. You guys can be a part of this. We're going to pick 3 winners from the hat. And we're going to give away 2021 calendar. You are a badass. Yeah. We're going to give away one of these. Oh, just kidding. Where's the other one? Oh, right there. These are life. I was showing these. These are life. Like to hold your phone up. Oh, these are life. This will help you not get a double chin. And this will also help you to get rid of your turkey neck. And what's the other thing? Just make your face look skinnier because you'll be like this, looking at your phone instead of like this. Yeah? So these are pretty cool. We got a couple of these we're going to give away too. So we're going to give away one of those. One of those. I said 3, right? Yes. And we'll give away swag. Okay. 1, 2.
Oh, I'm getting so excited.
This matches your dress. It does. I know. Okay, here we go. The first winner of the stand is Joelle Mancuso. Congratulations, Joelle Mancuso. You just won. Congrats, darling. We'll be reaching out or support at momsandheels.com. Support at momsandheels.com to claim your prize. The next winner of the You Are a Badass. Yeah. By the way, just a little tip for those of you that have this or are going to get this. We just posted this on our Instagram stories almost every day for a year. And literally it got us so much engagement. Absolutely incredible. So this is just a great way to kind of like, because it's really cute what they say. So Molly Fink, congratulations, Molly Fink. You are a winner. Chicken dinner. No, maybe. All right. And then the last swag. What swag are we going to give away? Let's do money moves. Let's do money moves. Let's do a money move shirt. Yeah? Avril Rawlings. Congratulations, Avril Rawlings. Oh, you guys can't see that. I don't know why I'm doing that. Can't even see it. Okay, here we go. All right, so money moves. You want to write that down on there? Perfect. All right. Let's take a deep breath, Maria, shall we? We're almost there. Lunch is almost there, okay? We're almost there. So for those of you that are not moms, this will still be very, very helpful for you because we as moms are the best jugglers on the planet. We are get it done. We are do it anyways. We are hashtag go do more. We are do all the things that people say you can't do because we're moms. So with that being said, this is definitely a panel you don't want to miss. This will definitely be, in my opinion, one of the most powerful parts of this event because these are real stories with real people and real humans that have been through real ups and downs. And so give them some shout outs for me. We are going to, I have questions for them. And I want to make sure I don't, I know you all, but of course, you know, I'm nervous. So I'm like, am I going to ruin their names? So anyway, we've got Lindsay Kirk. We've got Amber DeBoss DeLoof. We've got Laura Carafino, Melissa Swaney, Rena Zaharov, Whitney Carrion, and Stephanie Moram here to slay with all of you. And I want you to know every single human you're staring at right now makes a crap ton of money in the industry. Crap ton. And crap ton of money in other businesses and have been successful as being moms and wives and humans, even though we've all had ups and downs. And I think that just says so much about all of you, about being able to figure out life, business, being moms, being wives. And so I'm honored and so grateful that each of you said yes. You all have inspired me in some way. That's why you're here. I hope you know that. And I know you're just going to inspire the crap out of the healers, no pressure. So let me pull up the questions because where's this? They're right there. Oh, yeah. All right. So let's get this started, shall we? And I'm just going to start calling you out so you guys can we'll just kind of go, yeah, you know what I mean? Then you'll have to unmute yourself, or if I have to unmute you. So let's start with this. And by the way, these are questions from you guys, from you healers. This is what you wanted to know. What are 3 things or 3 tips you can give to help a busy mom find the time to build her network marketing business? Now, before each of you share the first time, I would love if you could just share your story and share a little bit about who you are, a little bit more in depth. That would be awesome. So Stephanie, why don't we just start with you and then we'll just go down the line.
Do you hear me okay? Because my earphones, is it echoing?
No, I can hear you.
Okay, good. So my name is Stephanie Moram. I have been in network marketing for 6 years, and I also make a crap ton of money, as Marina put it. And I started network marketing because I wanted to try the products really, and I didn't want to go back to work. I'm a social worker by trade, and a friend reached out to me, asked me if I wanted to try the products. I said no. When it came to the business, but I slowly realized that if I didn't want to go back to work after my maternity leave, I needed to find a way, and Amazon affiliate links was not cutting it at that point. So I jumped to network marketing and I just started doing all the things. I just started doing all the things that my upline told me to do, that other network marketers told me to do, and I just made it happen. I didn't have any excuses. I just did it. And my 3 tips for you guys would be that batch your time. So right now, my kids are at school, and I have time during the day to do what I want to do. But a lot of you don't. A lot of you are working the 9 to 5 still right now. So I think it's so important that you batch your time. So if you want to do some TikToks, do like 4 of them in a row. Doesn't matter if you have the same shirt on. No one cares. Do a couple of stories and save them, and then maybe put them out during the week. You don't have to post in real time. I think that was an aha moment for me a couple of years ago when I'm like, oh, they don't know that I'm not actually at the grocery store right now. They don't know that. So batch your stories. Batch if you're posting on Instagram. Get a couple of posts together and save them and have them ready, because life happens, right? You never know what's going to happen. You might be like, I'm going to go on the seat of my pants all the time. And then your kid gets sick. You're like, oh crap, I can't post for 5 days. So I just think it's important to batch your time. My second tip is to block your time as well. So if you're on like a very tight schedule, get up a little bit early and do a little bit of your work in the morning, maybe do a little bit at night when your kids are sleeping. If you have young kids at home when they're napping, get in your 15 minutes. And I love, one of my friends said, as a mom and as with a mom at home, we're building our business with our 2 thumbs on our phones. We're constantly on our phone. So if your kid's napping, you can maybe post an Instagram story or reply to somebody and get it done. You don't have to be at your phone for an hour to grow this as a business. And I kind of looped in like a bunch at the same time. So I'm going to say block your time. I would say batch your content and find the time to do it, even when you don't want to do it.
Let's just be real. The not wanting to do it part can happen, especially when you have moms of multiples, right? Like multiple kids, right? And it's a whole nother world with multiples. Let's just put that out there. I was like, oh, I got this. What are they talking about? And then here comes, 19-month-old. Yeah. And I have help. Let's just put it that way. So it's important that we have to push through those exhaustion moments. And even though sometimes we might want to lay down when the kids lay down, don't do the dishes, work your business. I mean, is it really going to be that serious if the dishes are done like a couple hours later? I mean, get a dishwasher. You know what I mean? Like, let's stop. Let's all just get a dishwasher at that point. So I love that. Batch your time, batch your content, but block your time. Block your time is huge because that's important. So Laura, what about you? Why don't you share a little bit about who you are, and then what are some of the tips for you? Because you have a brand new baby too.
I do. Hi, thank you so much, Maria, for having me here. My name is Laura Carafino. I actually started in network marketing in about 2007. I kind of fell into it. I had a very high-profile job working within the Department of Defense, and I was just married my husband at the time, and he's a Marine. And of course, I could not keep that job at the Pentagon. So I had to move. And I, like a lot of military spouses, struggle with finding a job that will transfer. And mine, unfortunately, did not. So I really struggled with that. And when I found network marketing, I knew this is what I wanted to do. It could travel with me. I didn't have to constantly reinvent myself. And that has been a true blessing. And like Marina said, I make crazy, stupid money in this industry. And it's just a blessing. It's a blessing. And one of the things, like being in this industry, I have 5 children, and I've worked my business through that, each one of them. I started my current company when I had just had a newborn and my husband was deployed. My older 3 kids were all in activities, so I'm like rushing them back and forth, trying to find time to work my business. But the 3 things that helped me really be successful is that I knew why I wanted to do this, why I wanted to make it work, and that really helped me. So if you're really clear on your why you're doing something, that will help motivate you and propel you forward. My second tip is I want to piggyback on the calendar blocking and batching, because that does really help when you're a busy mom, especially with me. I'm a mom to 5 now. I don't have a lot of free time, and especially with COVID, I don't even have a nanny right now. So I am doing everything myself. And if I'm not really good and clear with my time and use it wisely, then it can get away from me. So really batching all of your social media. I like to do it on the first of the month, or usually, the first Sunday of the month is I plan for the next month, and I have it all planned out. My network marketing industry business does parties. So I plan my parties out on social media. I have everything planned and batched for social media for the month, so I don't have to worry about that. And that really will save you a lot of time. So like Stephanie was saying, if she's at the grocery store, they don't know. You can still work your business. And then my third tip on that is goal setting. You want to have a very clear goal, whether it is a monetary amount that you want to earn, or contacts, posts on social media, interacting with new people, meeting new people. You can meet a lot of people online if you use your time wisely. So going back to knowing your why, goal setting, and calendar blocking, those are what has helped me be successful in this industry.
I forgot I was muted. I was about to talk. I was like, no, I love that. And being a mom of 5, I mean, that's a lot of children. That's a basketball team. Did you know that? Did you know? Okay, so now you can make your own basketball team. Okay, so I love that. And I love how you say, like, because you're doing those parties, that you're like batching out that as well. I mean, that's genius. I mean, you don't really have to be live posting, especially in groups. You can actually schedule them out, right? So I love that. So Melissa, same question, and then we'll move on to the next question and share a little bit about you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Melissa Sweeney. Excuse me. I got into this industry a little bit different than other people. Usually they try the products or they know someone that introduces them. And I was actually coming out of a pretty bad postpartum depression. And I was just realizing I was at home with my kids. It was very important for me to stay home with them. I left my real estate career to do that, but I was suffering. And so I knew that I needed a little something else for myself to keep my mind on and to focus on while being able to be at home. So I literally found my company scrolling on Facebook. I saw an ad for it, and it was a new company that was about to be launched. And so that's how I got into this industry. And now I've been in it for 6 years, and it's been a crazy ride, a lot of self-development. I'm super excited. When I started, I had no idea what I was doing, you guys, zero, did it all wrong. And then you find people like Marina, you learn the skills and you never give up. And then that's how you keep going. So I love everything everyone is saying. First of all, I took notes. It's exactly what I would also say. I'm going to add 3 other pieces. Number 1, you guys, you're a mom. So you have to believe you can do this. You guys birthed a baby and you are capable of so much. It's pretty incredible when you stop to think about what we actually do and how resilient you are. So if you can get yourself in that mindset that, number one, you can do this. You can fit this business into whatever, the same way you fit all the stuff you're doing with your kids around when you get more kids. I mean, that's like another full-time job you're putting on top of what you're already doing, and you figure it out. So if you tell yourself that, that's a good way to start. Number two, sit your family down and your kids down and explain to them why you're doing this. So a lot of times, I know I did not do this with my spouse. In fact, what I told him is, you're not even going to notice me doing this. And that was not true, because I was on my phone all the time. I didn't know what I was doing, so I was very inefficient. And my kids, I had been home with them since they were born. They were not used to me being on my phone or doing something else. So I wish I had gone about it a little bit differently. So what I recommend is sit your family down and explain to them why you're doing this, and not just if it's just for the money, but why it's important to you as a woman, and what you're going to gain out of this besides just the money, or if you want the trip or the cars or whatever it is that you're doing this for. Maybe it is for finances for your family, but let them know, like, mommy's going to be doing a little bit more of it. You're going to see me on the phone a lot more. And another thing you can do is kind of get your kids involved if they're older, is in like a goal, right? So I can send out samples with my company, and I would have them sit there with me while I'm doing it, so they feel involved. And that way it doesn't feel so much like you're excluding your family and you're going over here and doing your own thing. If you can incorporate it, and your spouse is probably going to be annoyed at times. And you still might get comments about it, but if you're at least upfront at the very beginning and say, I know that this is going to take away from our family time, but I'm building this for the future, like I'm building something for us, then hopefully you wouldn't get as much negative pushback, because I know a lot of people that I talk to have experienced that. So that's one other thing I recommend. And then the third thing is set focused time, because we can definitely build this in the nooks and crannies of your life. There's no doubt you can do that. But what I have found is when I actually set office hours or office time to sit down, I get way more done and more productive, and I'm not running around with my head cut off because I'm answering messages here and doing this. And I always forget, I have ADD. So I'm like forgetting what to do. And so I'm used to constantly be working 24/7, even if it was only for like a minute here and a minute there. It just looked like I was working all the time. So picking office hours to sit down, and when you have even if it's only 15 minutes, as long as you're designating yourself time so you can mentally say, I'm working my business, an hour here, an hour there, and then come up with like power hours. Like, what are you going to actually do in that hour? So you can get a script of like things to do that are income producing activities in your business, and you sit there and you do it. You can go through the list. If you only have a half an hour, you just do half, and then you do it the next time you can. And you can get your team involved with this. If you guys have teams, we do team power hours where we get on Zoom and we all sit there and do it together. And so you're actually working with people, and you're doing the things that need to get done. And so you want to know your daily method of operation, have time set aside for it, and then. Yeah, I think that those are my three things. So you want to tell yourself you can do it, because you can. You're a mom. You literally can do anything. Sit your family down and your kids down, just to explain to them why it's important to you, because even if it's going to be frustrating at time for your family, at some time they'll understand at least where you're coming from, and then have focused office hours and set time, the daily method of operation. Oh yeah, this is the other thing I was going to mention. Literally the number one thing you can do to help your business, the number one income producing activity, if you're ever wondering, what am I going to do with my time? Or I only have 5 minutes, what can I do? Is talking to people about your business and your product. So if you have no time and you only have a small amount of time, make sure you're just talking to someone about it. And then that's going to propel your business forward more than anything else that you could do.
I think that's important in so many different levels, because as moms too, we can get so busy with the busy work, right? Like the busy work of doing the laundry and then moving to the next room, and then we turn around and the house is still a mess. I mean, that's just me anyway. But it's important to have those specific office hours. For me, with my brand and my network marketing business, if I don't have office hours, I'll only work one and the other one can get forgotten, right? So same thing with your job, or same thing with watching your kids, or with helping your team. You're so focused on helping your team that you don't have office hours for your prospecting or your income producing activities. And I think as leaders all here, we've all kind of gotten into that management mode before, where we're like, we forget that we need to do power hours for ourselves. We need to also be doing those things. 80% prospecting, 20% team. I'd even say like 15% team. You know what I mean? So I love that. What an awesome share. So Amber, for you, here's my question. Something that you're like, and this isn't, yeah, you know I was going to do this to you, right? So when you're, oh no, I can't hear you. Nope, now I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Can you turn it up a little? She's like, I don't know.
What if I do this? I don't know.
Yeah, you're good. We can hear you. We can hear you. So, all right. So first off, of course, tell everybody who you are. But also, like, when it comes to prospecting other moms, you're really good at that. I know you're like, no, I'm not. Yes, you are. Your content is like incredible because it's so real. It's so real. So tell everybody who you are, and then a couple of things about how you show up to talk to the moms on social media.
So you guys can all hear me. I'm so nervous, guys. I don't use headphones ever. I sent my husband to Walmart last night at 11 o'clock. I have a dace piercing. It hurts. I don't like it. It's a mess. So I was so nervous. Okay. Anyway, and I look pale compared to like everyone else. I need a new Diva light. Apparently there's a whole lot of things happening over here. So
you know how many Diva lights I have up? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right,
4. That's why I'm so shiny for you.
I look pale. I swear I'm not this pale normally. Here we are. So I'm Amber DeLoof. I am a mom of 4, 3 that live at home, 6, 7, and 9. I am a homeschool mom, not that distance learning stuff. Like all of my kids' education is 100% on me. I didn't want to do that, but here we are. COVID happened and I hated virtual learning and we like to travel. Oh, of course I have notifications turned on. Great. Okay. So here we are. And now my dogs are barking. Cool. So mom life. So I got into this industry in 2009. It was not an accident, but it also was. I went to a party. I was living paycheck to 3 days before paycheck. Like I was jealous of the people living paycheck to paycheck because like I didn't even know what that meant. Like my groceries were going on freaking credit cards. And when I was swiping, I was just praying that I was going to get to go home with my groceries. We were working full-time jobs. Like, did you guys, if in the comments, if you went to college, drop college in the comments. I did it twice because I dropped out once and I went back. I did college. I got the loans to prove it. I paid off the loans to prove it. I went into the job that I was supposed to do from my college degree. And I still was living paycheck to 3 days before paycheck. It didn't make any damn sense. Like I did everything that everyone told me to do and we could not get ahead. And I went to this party and some of you know me, but I went to one of those girly parties in 2009. I'm not with that company now. I had never owned anything that they sold at those parties, by the way. I was so embarrassed to even be there. And the girl said, I pay cash for Christmas and cash for vacations. And I was like, hell yeah, I don't even pay cash for groceries. How do I sell this stuff? I don't own it. I don't know what to do with it. I could probably figure it out, but I'm pretty sure I could sell it. And my husband, God bless him, I was only like 22. He's 9 years older than me. He knows I didn't know anything about any of that. And he said, babe, I don't know what you're doing. I'm pretty sure it's one of those triangle things and you got scammed, but you know what? I have your back. And so that transitioned into network marketing in 2012. And 4 months into network marketing, I saw my first 10K month. And honestly, now if I told you what I made, you wouldn't believe me. It's like Monopoly money when I get paid now. It's pretty cool. My son thinks I don't have a job, so that's cool. He thinks that I like vacation and I'm on Facebook. So that's the life I live. And so if you're wondering how I prospect, you know, I was listening to all these women and these moms who are amazing, and I was hearing like batching content and all the things I don't do with my life, right? And so I do want to start by saying this. If you heard batching and you heard like all of these things and scripts and organization and you're like, that's not me, you can sit with me. We don't all have to do the same things. And I think that's so important with this panel. I do batch sometimes, but it's not great. Okay, because I'm an addictive personality type, but I'm also a little bit of a squirrel chaser, if you haven't caught on to that. And so, and plus I'm teaching 3 small kids how to read. Like, do you understand how hard that is to teach a kid to read? I am figured it out. It's hard. Okay. I have an addictive personality type. I don't know if anyone else has that. You know, I almost lost my marriage in year 9 to this industry because I did everything that Melissa said. I went all in. I had the conversations, but listen, all the conversations in the world don't help if I'm not all in with my family and my marriage as well. So I've learned a lot along the way. So if you're not organized, you don't batch, you don't have scripts, like, hello, girl, you sit down with me, we can be buddies. So if I'm talking prospecting, and Marina said it, she knew I was going to say it, I don't prospect. I don't prospect. I don't have scripts. But what I do, and if you're a Friends fan, I said do, but if you don't get it, you don't get it. It's fine. What I do is I am me on Facebook. I am a Friends addict. There's a tattoo. Like, people, here's the thing. People know that about me. People know that I'm into Friends. People know that I Jeep. People know that I homeschool my kids. And so I literally have just made my brand, my network marketing brand, me. I've made it relatable. I've made it, when Stephanie talked about when her kid gets sick and she's off for 5 days, dude, the whole world knows when my kid is sick, because there is not always rainbows. And I'm not saying that Stephanie doesn't do that. I'm just saying that it's not rainbows and butterflies. One of the questions that I had actually prepared for, because I didn't actually read all the questions that Marina had sent us, I like to go off the cuff. I'm better that way. I did see that one of them was like those ups and downs. And I think a huge part of that prospecting is sharing those ups and downs. If you're my friend on Facebook, dude, 2 weeks ago, my kid fell on vacation, split her head wide open. She has a life-threatening condition. I had to go to an ER on vacation. 5 days later, my husband had an emergency appendectomy and we almost lost him in surgery. 5 days later, we got home and my kid had an ear infection. And 2 days ago, my grandfather died. Like, one could argue that I'm in a real down right now. And I share those things on Facebook. I'm upfront with the struggle of the business. This business is not easy. Anyone can do it, but it's not for everyone. And so I'm upfront with that too. It does take time. I'm upfront with the hard, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this word or not, but I'm upfront with the hard shit that I face in my marriage, the hard stuff that this business has brought to the table. For every dollar I've made, there's probably been a tear or two in the background of me trying to figure out the balance, and the balance is bullshit. That's what I've learned. Okay. So if I could tell you to prospect on social media, it would be I call them umbrellas, call them whatever you want. I pick 5 umbrellas. These are 5 things that are who I am. Okay. If they do not fall into those 5 umbrellas, they don't go on my Facebook, right? I want people to hear something and think of Amber. All right. And not because my ego dictates it, but I'll tell you why. Let's say you're in health and wellness. Okay. If they know Amber is into Jeeping and I'm a car seat Nazi and I am a bookworm and I'm a Friends addict, they think of me when they post those things. Do any of you, whether you're watching or even any of these moms, is there something you are known for that, like, you get tagged in stuff about it like all the time? I wake up in the morning, Target. Apparently Target is a thing of mine. It's all of ours though, right? We all have a thing for Target. It's just me. Cool. I got a post about Target on my wall when I woke up this morning. I get tagged in Friends things, and you're like, well, Amber, fantastic. People know you like Friends. That's cool. That doesn't make you any money. It absolutely 100% makes me money, because when they think of me over something so trivial like Friends, like whatever, when it comes time to get their health together, I'm the first person they think of. They don't think about you. I'm sure you're fantastic, but they're going to think about me because I've been so upfront and raw. And I hate the word transparent. I feel like it's so overused right now. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I'm transparent AF on my Facebook. People know me. They trust me. Guys, I make jokes. I told you I sold for one of those companies when I first got started. Like, if they trust me with those purchases, they're going to trust me with their health. Okay. I know all their secrets. But the point is, I have real conversations with people. Who has 5,000 friends on their friend list? I'm sure you guys all know Rob Sperry and Brian Fryer. They're like, what are you good at? It's real simple. I don't have a cold market. I've never had to cold message anyone. If you're my friend on Facebook, I probably know your dog's name better than your kid's name, because I prefer dogs. I love your kids and my kids, but I like dogs better. Okay. I probably know your dog's name. I know that you're married. I know what you do. Ariel's on here. I know she's a paramedic firefighter. Okay. We're not BFFs in real life, but I know who she is. Right. And so you have to make it a point to know your friends and not think about the dollar. Like, guys, 2020 has taught me one really huge lesson. I hope it's taught you guys this too. Shit got dark fast, right? And people need your light more than ever. That's when they're going to remember you. That's when they're going to join your team. Those women there, do you know how many women who are moms, who are stay-at-home moms, who just need adult conversations? They will join your team just to have adult relationships and adult conversations. Why aren't you opening the door and having that conversation? And here's your script. It's so simple. Hey, Lindsay, how's it going? How are the kids? I saw they've gotten so big. What are they into right now? Hey, dude, I saw your virtual schooling. Ugh, how hard is that? It's conversations. How are you holding up? It's so simple, but you guys, I'm not calling anyone out, but you guys get so hung up in, I got to prospect, I got to do this. I have 10 conversations every day. They're not about business, but you know what? At some point, business will trickle in, or at some point, they're going to see the one post from me that is the one that signs them. So no, I'm not prospecting, but I guess I am. I'm prospecting friends, right? I don't like real people. I don't like to have to like do mommy dates and stuff. I would prefer to stay at my house, okay, most days. But I'm prospecting for friends. Like, come sit with me. Do you want to chat? Like, I will chat with you all day. You want to talk books? I got the book recommendations, right? So stop getting hung up on scripts. Just stop doing that. Stop thinking about the perfect way to say things. And I think the reason I've never batch content, okay, that's not true. I have batch like in a group. Like if I have a group that's health and wellness, that's fine. But on my Facebook, if you're seeing my post, it's 100% in the moment. Ugly, well put together, pretty, it doesn't matter. Whatever's coming out of my two thumbs in that moment is what I'm feeling. Like I can't plan that in 4 days, right? 4 days could be a total crap show. And then you're going to get that from me. So I just like, I love the batching for stories. Dude, if I could do one thing that Stephanie and Melissa and Laura said about batching my stories, I'm going to make so much more money because I'm terrible at stories. Marina knows I freaking hate stories and I hate Instagram, and no one kicked me off this broadcast. But my point is that find a couple of these things. I'm going to batch my stories because you know what? These girls are probably killing Instagram and I'm missing the boat on the story. So I will batch that. But on my very like front page timeline, you're getting 100% me, 100% whatever is happening in my life right this second. And I'm going to be your friend. Like we're going to talk about your dogs. So that's my prospecting, man. Be a human, and for the love of God, be a good human. That's all I'm asking.
Yes, be a good human, especially right now. But being that light is so true. I think about just the conversations in the last 2 weeks that have come to me, either on Instagram or on Facebook. And it's been like, I just have to say thank you because you kept me laughing, or with your TikToks, or you kept me this or that. And and then you share that you do have depression or you are in that crappy moment. So it makes me know like I'm normal. Like it's okay to not be okay. And I think that's the biggest piece is, for the Moms and Heels brand, is just wanting moms to know it's okay to not be okay. Yeah. You don't, especially as leaders, and I bet you can all agree with this, as leaders, you feel like, or at one point, did you feel like you had to show up a certain way? We could only have to be perfect. Like we couldn't have down days, right? I don't think Amber.
Can we stop that narrative, man? I'm so sick
Of
that. Like,
yeah.
Mom's struggling every day and they're watching
Yep.
perfect highlight reel, and you're literally making them feel bad about themselves because, oh, Amber's doing X, Y, and Z. I had a meltdown on my Peloton. I don't know if you guys have a Peloton. I did a post a few days ago. It was Thanksgiving. I had a massive sobbing meltdown on my Peloton, and I wrote about it, and I had more engagement on that than anything because women are crying in freaking closets eating chocolate bars, and you're posting your highlight reel, and that is a massive disservice to your following, to your brand, to your soul. Okay. So I'm not saying be negative, but man,
no, but be real. Be real, because at the end of the day, if you're faking who you are, then these people you're recruiting, they're going to get to know the real you anyway, and then they're just going to leave you. How do I know? That was me when I first got started. When I first got started in network marketing, I had this total different idea of who I had to be, what I had to be. And even in 2017, I've had some major shifts. Showing up without makeup on, that was hard for me. Showing up like, when I was losing that baby weight, that was rough, right? Because I had never been overweight in my life. So we've got to show those real moments. Lindsay, for you, I love that shirt. I'm so obsessed. Let's talk about down days while building a business, because I think for you, one, you and your husband have successful businesses outside of network marketing as well. you got the homeschooling thing going on too, right? Yeah. And again, we're kind of like transitioning into that conversation. Everything can't be puppies and rainbows all the time. So tell everyone who you are, and then if you could be open and just share about that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Marina, for having me. And gosh, this mom panel is fire, like so many good little nuggets. And one thing I love that Amber said was we don't all have to do this the same. And that's what the beauty of this industry truly is. For the next 3 days, I challenge you guys to take nuggets here and there and apply them to you, the real authentic you, whatever that looks like. But my name is Lindsay Kirk, and Marina, I'm so thankful that you had me on here. I am a mom of 3. I'm actually an adoptive mom, and I have a biological kiddo and have fostered. And that is a big part of what I share on Facebook as far as just being a mom and showing up every day in this crazy world. And 2020 has been crazy, right? So as far as ups and downs, I think, without being too cliche, I think the biggest thing for, when you think about roller coasters is knowing your why, which again, so cliche, but I think that if you know why you're doing this business and you always go back to that, the hard days are easier because you know why you're getting up and doing what you're doing. One thing that I really think is powerful, and Amber kind of talked a lot about this, but sharing your real life. People join and people buy from people they like, that they know, and that they trust. And if they don't know you and they don't like you and they don't trust you, they are not going to join you or buy from you. And so those times that are hard, share with your people all of those things. I don't want to repeat everything Amber said, but really when I think about that question of ups and downs, and anxiety and depression even has been brought up, it really is just sharing those things with your people and your team. So often I think we get so bogged down with like power hours and do this and IPAs and, all the things. And your girls or your boys or your whatever are sitting in their closet eating chocolate. And it's like, guys, let's be real and talk to our team. There have been so many leaders that I've watched their teams go downhill, and it's not because they weren't doing the right things. It's because they didn't know their team and they didn't build that community of realness. And I think that is so important when you think about, just the ups and downs of this business. People will not leave you if you have an incredible relationship with them. And they need you, right? Now, obviously, there's different situations for different things, but overall, that is so incredibly important. So, Marina, I don't even really know what your question was, but did I?
Yeah, I mean, that just hit home with me because I think about when I first started in network marketing, and I'll never forget, there was a leader at the event, and I was so excited to meet her, like literally so excited. And she knew my name. I was in her organization. She knew my name. Mm-hmm. And I was like, whoa. I mean, this was a big company. And I mean, I wasn't a leader. I didn't really make her any money. She knew my name. Mm-hmm. And it was because of Facebook, but she made it a part of her routine to get to know as many people on the team as she could, or even get to know their names. And so that was huge for me. And I think that was a big part of keeping me in network marketing and keeping me going was that recognition or acknowledgement. Because in my real life, I didn't get it. I was stuck to a cubicle. Yeah. So that's just that needs to be a big aha moment for a lot of you. I don't care if you have a team of 1 or a team of a bajillion. If you don't know your team, if you don't take the time to congratulate them, or to ask if you can do anything for them, or just ask, are you good? And it's just about money. It's wrong. That's all wrong. So I just love that. I love that to so many pieces. Whitney, coming over to you now. I think this is such a great question for you with judgment. And the reason I say that is because I look at you and you're fierce, and I see the way you show up on social media. But I know that there had to have been moments where people judged you for doing network marketing, or other moms judged you for not having a real job. And I say it like that because these are things that have been said to me before. So would you be open to sharing your story, who you are, and sharing a little bit about that as well?
Absolutely. You can hear me okay? Awesome. Okay. So great to be on here, guys. I'm very, very honored. Thank you so much. I'm happy to pour anything I can into you. I hope it's of value. So I actually joined network marketing back in 2015. Much like Laura, I had just married a soldier in 2014. I was a brick and mortar business owner, and I also was a government employee full time. So I worked 8 hours for the government and the US Army, and then spent 4 hours a day at the gym. So 12-hour days. It was nuts, but I loved it. And it was my idea of how I was going to get Marina's dream. If you guys were on any of the sessions before, she was talking about how her main dream was to her movie was being in New York in heels and being a CEO. Like, I always wanted to be a girl boss. And so I was getting a little glimpse of that owning a gym. But when you marry into the military, you give that up. Or so I thought. And so sustaining that brick and mortar business was impossible. And I knew that I really wanted to be a girl boss still, and I didn't really know how. And when I got into the vision of what network marketing was, I quickly realized that it was the best case scenario for an ordinary person to live an extraordinary life. And I had never been in a place or a space where I'd seen so many millionaires and so many people living a freedom-filled life. And I thought, like everybody else here, well, if they can do it, I can do it too, right? And because I had a mom boss like dream in my heart, I just knew that I am somebody who works hard, and I'm somebody who dreams big. And that's really all I needed to know in order to throw my hat in the ring. Now, like everybody else here, I did struggle with that performance piece, meaning I struggled so hard thinking that I was called to be a people pleaser. And if I'm being honest with you, that was something I didn't know was holding me back for so long. My posts were geared around whether or not I was being judged, the way I behaved. I used to hide all those ugly, scary things about, like, oh, I have to go do a home party right now, but I'm going to pretend like my family isn't melting down. My husband's pissed off that I'm leaving again. I'm missing dinner. My children are freaking out in the car. Like, I just burnt my hair curling it too long, and I'm just going to slap a smile on my face and pretend like none of that's happening. Like, that was a big part of my life. And I did that for probably 4 years in network marketing. And guess what, guys? My paycheck matched that. And my the team that I recruited matched that too. And I broke them because they thought that they needed to be perfect as well. And so when I opened my eyes and got into the larger space of network marketing, not just focusing on people in my company, who a lot of them were also duplicating that too, if I'm being honest, that's where I learned a lot of it. I got into the larger space of network marketing, and I saw people like Amber showing up unperfect, but still rocking it out. And I saw other people coming up from the ashes and rising up into who they felt they were called to be. For me, I just was like, okay, I'm going to really just continue to do what Whitney does. And I want to speak into the badass in every single woman. Like, for me, it became about all of the women, all of the people who had let their childhood dreams die and think that just because of the brick and mortar boxes that we lived in were things that were going to make us think that we didn't deserve those dreams anymore. And so, you know, when it comes to posting, when it comes to sharing, when it comes to walking out what I do every day, I think to myself, I'm going to share why I'm doing this. I'm going to share what has allowed me to feel fierce. And it's gotten to a point where my posts, yes, my posts, my lifestyle, it's very sassy. And I do that purposely because I want everyone to remember that fire. Like, when I was a kid, my Santa wrote all of the presents to the attorney because there wasn't a single thing I didn't argue. If you told me I couldn't do it, I was like, yes, I'm gonna show you. And I think as we become an adult, we get put in that box of dreaming or dying, and we forget what we're doing here on this earth, that we just forget that fierce badassness that we all have within ourselves. So when I started embracing that more, I also found that the worry of other people's opinions died off so quickly. When I remembered that fire and I remembered what I would need to do, and when I started to see that I was impacting people in a positive way, to start embracing that part of them again, everyone else's opinions started dying. And if I'm being honest, guys, the biggest haters I have in my life are like family members, the ones who don't get what I'm doing. They don't understand it. Why are you sharing your life so much on social media? Why are you airing out your dirty laundry? And it makes me laugh, because when I look at the lives that I'm emptying, when I look at the paychecks that are depositing in my account, and the people that I surround myself, because they're benefiting from what I have to offer, the opinions of everybody else are so easy to just laugh at and push away. So that's how, in a roundabout way, I really lean into that, guys, because I know that we were all put on earth to not live small and to not live ordinary. And so I have no problem being the person who shoulders those haters and shoulders those complaints and those what have yous, because I know that if I keep pushing towards something awesome, that those little voices are going to become distant and distant and distant for not just me, but for everyone else.
You know, and I'm so happy that you shared that. I'm just reading some of the comments, and I just want to address some of them, because I want every one of you to know that it's not because of our paychecks that we are sharing our stories. It's not because of the amount of money, the crazy, stupid money we make. And in fact, the confidence that I gained before I even started making money and the posture I had happened way before the money even came. And I think that those two things can get a little bit mixed up, where you think that the confidence comes when the money comes, and it's actually the complete opposite. Some of you are like, when I share my story, people unfriend me. That happened to me when I shared that I was sexually abused, when I shared that I was involved in gangs. Better believe people unfriended me. When I almost went to jail because of what an ex did. I mean, I was in the newspaper for murder, people. Not me, but I was there when it happened. Can you imagine what my family feels like when I share those moments? My mom and I had to have a real big sit down. I love her to pieces. She's the most incredible woman in the world. But it was hard for her because she had just been learning about certain things. And then here I am putting it on social media. But what I know is that I can work through it with those that are willing to work through it with me. And those that are supposed to stick around will. Because God will move people out of your life that aren't supposed to be there, I promise you. But you've got to step into that, all right? So Whitney, thank you for bringing that out, because a lot of the comments were coming in, so I just wanted to bring that in. So Rena, here we go. Do I need to unmute you?
Hello.
Hi. Okay, so Marissa's going to yell at somebody because they're being loud. So I would say that this is another great question for you, because I think this is just a hot topic. And then we're going to end here, and we're going to end with a Spitfire end round. So don't go anywhere, because we've got a Spitfire end round. I just made that up, by the way. So with that being said, Rena, tell everybody a little bit who you are, a little bit about your story, and then same thing with you as far as, you know, how do you deal with that judgment? Because I know you went through it too when you switched companies.
Yes. Well, first, thank you for having me on here. And I've loved listening to every one of you share bits of your stories. It's so great to just hear from, you know, the many faces of our profession. So thank you for having me here. My name is Rena. I'm from Toronto, Canada, and I am a mom of 3. And I've been in this business now for almost 9 years, and struggled hard for the first 5. So I really echo a lot of what you guys have shared around just being real and sharing your stories. And I share 99.9% of what I share is those first 5 years of struggle, because most people don't relate to the other pieces of it. And so that's the way I really build solid relationships with people, is sharing the struggles, but then sharing the overcome, because people want to know, okay, nobody wants you to stay down forever, right? Like, okay, you struggled for 5 years, but how did you get out of it? How I handle judgment. So I can relate to what Whitney said about being called the attorney. I've always been a little bit rebellious. Tell me I can't do something, and even if I'm suffering immensely, that will probably be my driving force. And it wasn't always like that. I was actually really, really insecure when I got to this profession. This business really, if you stay in it long term, it will show you who you are and what you're made of. Like, I really do believe that. All of the other things are a perk, the money, all of it. It's really the icing on the cake. I would not trade an ounce of the heartache this business has brought to my life, because of who it's made me become in the process, and who I've been able to show my kids, you know what I mean? Like, what it looks like to overcome things. And my kids have grown up in network marketing. My kids are 13, 8, and 4. So the two younger ones have only seen network marketing. The first one, I was also a social worker, Stephanie, for 10 years. And I've just changed so much. But how I've overcome judgment and criticism has been through practice. That's the honest truth. It was very difficult. I was like the queen. If you know me today and you see like a really strong kind of tough cookie, I am that. But for so many years underneath that was a very insecure person who had very low self-worth and cared immensely what people thought about her. And that's why I say network marketing has been such a gift. Aside from all the bells and whistles, it's becoming that person that actually doesn't care what people think. However, if I care about you, I care about what you think. So like if you know, if I know Amber and Marina very well, if they were upset with me, I would care because I care about them. If I don't know you, or if I don't have any connection to you and you think a certain kind of way about me, unfortunately or fortunately, I just don't care. I genuinely, like, people have said the most awful things about me over the years that at one point was devastating to hear when I did switch network marketing companies, and was literally, I was so naive. I was just switching companies because I didn't feel like I was aligned anymore. And all of a sudden I became like this alien cross-recruiting psychopath who people needed to protect people from. And I was like, oh my, like, what is going on here? And so I had to learn the hard way that not all people are who they say they are. I had to learn how to really develop a thick skin. I had to go through the mud. I think that's really what it comes down to. There's no way to make it through this business without going through the mud. This business is gonna tear you apart. And it really is. It's not even just switching companies, it's the climb. The climb is so hard. And you know, I remember, I just have to share this because it's so powerful. I remember hitting a significant milestone in our company. And in 2018, I was asked to share some of my story at the event. And it was literally the most monumental moment of my life, because it took me 6 years to get to that moment. And I had my kids, I did like this little video of my kids, and I had asked them, what has my business meant to you, like from your eyes? And they just said, like, in a nutshell, having you around, it's just been everything to them, you know? And so all of the opinions of others, all of the judgment that I've dealt with over the last 9 years, my end goal is being a present mom, And that's one thing, you guys, like, just about being present. You can choose to be present. Like, I turn off my phone Friday nights and Saturdays. I don't work. And do you know how many women have messaged me and said, thank you for talking about the fact that you don't work on Friday nights and Saturdays, that you actually, I put my phone on airplane mode, because if I'm going to give my all to this business, I have to give my all to the people I'm doing this business for. And so it just, there's no other way around it. And that's the one thing I would encourage women to do more of, moms, is ditch the guilt around taking that time. And it one day is okay. I promise you, just take the time. But yeah, that's in a nutshell. How I've overcome judgment is I remember why I'm doing this, who I'm doing it for, the love that I have for ambitious women who have this drive that they want more for their life. That's who I'm doing this for. And I had to go through a lot of pain to get here. And so my drive and motivation to show up every day is to show women that, yeah, it's going to be messy, but if you can just practice posture, like someone tells you something negative, be hurt, take it in, let it destroy you inside, but practice saying, I'm sorry you feel that way. That's really unfortunate that you feel that way. Have a great day. And then go cry in your car or call your best friend or your husband or do what you have to do. And that's how I've
Bye. Sorry, I have to do it.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya. So that's just a little bit about that. I hope that helps somebody out today.
I love it. No, I'm so glad you brought that up, because I think I used to be that bad mom. And I'm going to say it. I was trying to provide that I wasn't present. And so I missed Anaya's first steps, but then because I was traveling all over to build this business, I wasn't at her first day of kindergarten. Now, she's not going to remember those things, but those are things that I remember. And so I didn't have office hours. Like who was talking about that? Stephanie was talking about that. Amber was somebody was talking about office hours. Melissa was talking about office hours, I think. But the office hours part of it was we have to be intentional with what we're working on. And I want to just say this too, for those of you that have a spouse, have a partner, married, whatever, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is, right? If you don't pay attention to that relationship, it will fizzle. You will start to resent each other. You will start to make shit up that doesn't exist about each other. And you might end up not being together. And that happened in my relationship. It wasn't because of network marketing. It was because of me. I was choosing money over family, not intentionally, not on purpose, but that's what I was doing. And I almost lost my family because of it. So we're going to actually have some experts come on and talk about relationship. I think it's on day 3, which I think is so important, but you've got to focus. You've got to focus on what's important and why you're doing these things. All right. So we're going to do a last Spitfire. And what I want from each of you is to share what is one change that you want to make for yourself for 2021. And it could be a very small change. It could be a very big change. It could be a goal. It could be whatever that thing is. What is that one thing in 30 seconds or less? And we'll start, Rena, with you, and then we'll go backwards.
Okay, one thing that I would want to change if I could choose anything would be really focusing on my health goals and taking time every day to do the body movement, do the physical, because like you said, it's so easy to just leave the dishes over there, and just do all the things. And that's one area that I neglect. And so that's a huge goal for me in 2021.
I love it. I love it. I'm going to hold you to it.
Yes.
I'm going to love it. Whitney, what about you, babe?
Sure. For me, it's going to be working smarter versus working harder, because I'm somebody who prides myself on my hard work, but a lot of the times I can actually drive myself into the ground by doing it. And, I used to wear that like a badge of honor, because if somebody's going to get something done, it's going to be me. But I quickly realized that I'm setting a bad example by doing that, obviously. And then for two, that's not the best way to do things. So why do that? Like, hello, silly. So I'm working on challenging myself in new ways. So learning new habits, learning new skill sets. And if that means learning new technology, God help me, I will do those things to help my business and just my lifestyle work smarter versus harder so that I can add more in without taking more time away, more valuable time away from my family, more present time away from my teammates, and then, you know, being able to actually give more of myself in a positive way to my businesses versus like whatever's left of me.
I love it. That's so powerful. Lindsay, what about you, babe?
So I think, especially after hearing this panel, I'm really good about putting my phone away different times of the day. Marina and I have talked a lot about this, but I'm mentally still not present, right? So we can physically be present with our spouse and our kids, but mentally not present. And so one of my huge goals in 2021 is to figure that out. It's a mindset thing, to figure out how to be mentally present, not just physically present. So if anyone has tips on that
was, remember, we used to talk about that all the time. Like that was a bit of struggle for me. And it came with being in the moment, but looking at the little things that I couldn't, I had to slow my brain down. And so I had to look at, oh, Madeline just tripped and fell. How cute. And then she gets up and laughs because she's a beast, right? Or, oh, Jason actually just brought me, a drink. That's so sweet. Like I literally, because I used to be like all the time, like, oh, he just is on his phone. He doesn't pay attention to me. He doesn't care. I would like make reasons of why I was in my head more. But I started to like literally like, oh, the tree is green. It's a pretty day outside. Like I had to become a little more foo-foo to appreciate the things around me. But, whatever. We'll talk more about it too. But that's been really helpful.
good.
It's been awesome. Yeah.
So good.
Amber, what about you, Bill? Uh-huh.
Can you hear me? Oh, thank God. Look, it took me to the end to figure out my headphones. Let me move this up here. I don't know, guys. 2020 was tricky. Like Marina said with her relationship, I told you guys, year 9, I almost lost my marriage to myself, to my addictive personality and all that, and thinking that everyone else's family was more important than the one that I'm doing all of this for. So I first want to say, whenever this conversation between Lindsay and Marina gets deeper, I need to be on that because I'm just as guilty of that. So 2021 for me, look, I don't know. I was just trying to survive to November at this point. I think most people had a hard 2020. I don't want to sound cocky. I had a great 2020. My marriage got like all of the attention it deserved this year. We're in a really good place. My kids are happy. They're kind of learning to read, sort of. And then November hit, and I wanted to survive that. But here's what's happening for the Duluths in 2021. More family time, more presence. I letting go of some of the mom guilt too, though, right? But also letting go of some of the boss babe guilt too, right? Like we think that it's just mom guilt.
Yeah.
I think sometimes I feel so guilty for my team, right? Like, oh, I'm sorry I'm not around enough. But when they message me, I'm always there. It's just that I'm not always holding a hand. And so I get guilty about that, right? Like
let's do it. Let's all do that. I think that's something we all know and we talk about, but we need to do it. First of all, if you just look at this panel, I just want you guys to know these are the people I want to be around right here. You are who you hang out with, the 5 people. I'm good. Like right here is game on. So we can all definitely, we'll put something together. Maybe we can all just get together and like get in each other's heads or something. So I think we definitely need it. Melissa, what about you, babe?
Do that.
Oh, I have to unmute you. Wait, hold on. Go ahead.
I got it. Sorry. I was going to say, speaking of getting in each other's heads, I'm going to join that conversation about being more present because I'm the exact same way. It's a big struggle. And so that's a good one for me. And just consistency. I mean, I know all the things that I should be doing or need to be doing, and just implementing it, and then working with, limiting beliefs. Mindset is always is always a
Love it.
great thing to focus
Laura,
on.
what about you?
Okay, well, you know my struggle, right? The last couple of years, health-wise. That's another thing I've realized, like this year, just having the baby and realizing, okay, yes, I did it really well with 4. Now I have 5. I need to really put myself first. And, you know, where I've been putting everyone else first and adding this extra little blessing it's been a struggle. And, you know, so this year I'm going to try to really put my health first and, you know, not always be available for everybody. I've been very bad about that. Just kind of like what everybody else is saying here. And, you know, putting limits on that and putting myself first, I think is going to be my major
so
focus this
powerful.
year.
And I got to just tell you, Laura, like, thank you for being so open and sharing your journey on social media. Cause I could always, you know, I couldn't maybe talk to you over the phone, but just like being able to check in on you and making sure that was everything okay. And then seeing the blessing of bundle of joy happen, such a little miracle. So thank you for sharing and being so open with your struggles too.
Well, thank
Wow,
you.
I
Thank
love
you for
babe.
just being an amazing friend.
Stephanie,
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
what you got going on for 2021?
So this is a continuation of 2020 for me. So to stop beating myself up, like, you know, this, I had like super hard 2020. I don't want to start crying, but it was really, really hard on like so many levels. You guys have probably all gone through a gazillion problems, but for me, I'm a workaholic. I love to work. I could be on my phone 24 hours. So when 2020 hit, it was like my kids were home. I'm like, I haven't been around my kids this much since they were born, like at all. So it was like reshifting my focus. And I spent 9 months beating myself up, but I made more money, like, and I was still beating myself up. I like made, you know, in 1 month, I made an extra 10 grand and I didn't work, but I kept beating myself up. And that's when I stepped back and I'm like, if I don't watch out, my kids are gonna like end up killing themselves because I'm not paying attention to them. I'm not. I'm just like, I have to work. So at the end of probably the summer, I'm like, I have to stop doing this. Like, I am beating the crap out of myself for making more money, being somewhat present for my family. So I took the conscious decision. I'm like, I need to take care of myself. Like, I have to take care of myself because if I don't, like, I'm falling apart at the seams here. Who's going to take care of the kids? My husband owns his own company too, and he's MIA like 17 hours a day. Like, so I took control of my situation. This is going to be a continuation for 2021. I hired someone full time. And I'm paying her a lot of money because I want her to be here. Like, if Marina knows how, like, I'm paying her a lot of money. She's probably making maybe more money than some people that are on this call right now with their 9-to-5s, right? Because I wanted somebody here. And guess what? I have somebody doing the dishes for me now because I couldn't handle it. And in the mornings, I barely work. I take care of myself. I play on TikTok. I play on Instagram. I work out. I go for a 2-hour walk, and I work for before the kids get home. And at night, if I don't fall asleep with my daughter. But it was like a wake-up call for me because I was on like a train wreck of like not paying attention to what was going on around me. And when the lockdown happened, I was like, I had no choice. And this is going to continue into 2021 because I have to stop beating myself up. Like, I didn't post on Instagram. Wow, the world's not going to implode. Like, you know what I mean? Like, wow, I didn't post on Facebook. Everyone's still okay. Is everyone having lunch?
Build this business to be able to have an income. Hold on, let me mute you while I'm talking, then I'll unmute you again. So we build this to build an income that comes in when we don't work, yet we beat ourselves up when the income comes in and we're not working. There are going to be times where it's okay to not work. And I want to say this to all of you that are on. If your goal is to make $1,000 a month and you don't want to make any more than that, but you have someone pushing you to do more, tell them I'm good. It's okay to not want millions of dollars. It's okay to only want an extra $500 to $1,000. It's okay if you're in it just for the products. It's okay. But we got to start beating ourselves up when we get what we want. And that was a big aha moment for me when I was like, it's okay if I don't make more money. It's okay if I lose money. It's okay as long as we find joy in our houses, in our lives, with our families, and our relationships. That's what truly matters. So, Steph, I didn't know if I cut you off, but I just had to say that real quick. But
No,
can
I
I
was
just
just
say
gonna
thank
say
you for being so vulnerable and for just crying right now? Because I cried with you. I did.
I've been crying like all of 2020, so and I'm probably gonna keep crying into 2021 because they're gonna be on vacation in a couple of weeks and I gotta figure out what I'm doing. But it's just that it's like we beat ourselves up all the time. And I'm sure every single one on this panel has beat themselves up. Everyone watching has, and you're so right. Like I was beating myself up because I was doing well. Like my husband kept saying, didn't you join network marketing so you could have some freedom? And all you do is work. And I'm like, but I like it. And when COVID hit, it was seriously, the whole staying at home was because he could not be home. He runs a brick and mortar. He owns the company. If he wasn't at work, all that money he invested would be gone. Where I invested in like $200, right? And it took me a long time to realize that my team is not going to fall apart. And like I said, it grew. And it grew. And I think we all, as moms, and even not as mom, dog moms, if you're single, just stop beating yourself up because you're doing the best you can with what you have at that time. And I was doing the best I could at that time. And looking back, it's probably the best thing that ever happened to me, even though I look back and it was like a train wreck, like 9 months of train wreck. But it was literally the best thing because if it wouldn't have happened, I'd still be doing the exact same thing I was doing
agreed.
9 months ago.
5,000%.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, you guys, this panel was just like amazing. I have to just be honest with you guys. This was one of the best panels I think I've ever been a part of. That's for sure. So can you guys please drop them some high heels, some love, some hearts, some thank yous in the comments because I'm just blown away. I'm so grateful that each of you just said yes to be on for my crazy brain last minute of, hey, I'm going to do an event. Gotta come? Want to come? Amber's like, it's like 5 days before. Oh, sure, no problem. So thank you so much. Don't hang up, you guys, because I am going to give away, right? Or do I have another giveaway? I have another giveaway. All right, we're going to do another giveaway. We're going to give away another swag, and we're going to give away, before we do that, though, they're going to go to lunch. We're going to go to lunch. We're going to come back from lunch at 2:10. 2:10 will be when the next speaker is live in the group. So you have not that much time, but I don't know, eat while you watch it. I don't really, whatever. It's all good. I'm about to eat a salad and, put my heels on and go take pictures outside because it's a beautiful day over here. Glad you guys love this panel. Couple of things. Our Elite Academy is open. You don't know what that is, go to the Healer dashboard and you will see Become an Elite Healer is like a button where you can go and check it out. Or you can go to Elite Healer or Healers. I don't remember. EliteHealer.com. I think it's S. It is Healers. So it's EliteHealers.com. If you guys can all just drop that in the comments for me. EliteHealers.com. This is our membership community. It's $297 for the year, $37 a month. I give you posts. I tell you what to post on TikTok. I tell you what to post on Instagram, what to post on your Instagram stories, and all that jazz. So if you're an Elite Healer, tell them what it is. Elite Academy is everything. I've got to be honest. But EliteHealers.com, you can go check it out. The doors are open for you guys. Let's give away some swag. All right. What did I say? Swag, right? Did I say swag? Okay. What's this? What's this one? Let's do posture panties. We're going to do a posture panties. Okay. We're talking about posture. Let's do posture panties. Hold on. I got to grab it. Let's see. Oh, and I'll give a grateful one away. Yeah. here. Did you hear my leg just crack? Yes. My hip just cracked. That's how you know you're getting old. When your hip cracks, right? Elite healers in the house. What up? All right. So we're going to give away 2. So we're going to give away the posture panties first. This is something that I say to my elite healers all the time. I tell them, posture up, get your posture panties. And the winner of the posture panties is Amy White, 703-42305. I'm not reading the numbers. Now I'm reading the numbers. I know, I forgot. Sorry. 703-42305. Amy White, congratulations. You won the posture panties. We've got a lot of days of doing this, by the way. Just thought about that. And then we're going to give a Grateful AF away. Yeah? Grateful AF. We're going to give this away right now, too. And then I will see you guys at 2:10. So it's 1:35 now. And I'll see you at 2:10 for the next speaker. We're going to talk time blocking, income producing activities with Kathy and Jordan. They've got a system for you. So it's going to be absolutely incredible. Here we go. Here we go. The number is 703-71282. I read it really fast, like you guys know your numbers. They know their numbers? Oh, they might know their numbers. Oh, okay. 703-71282. Leslie White. Leslie White, congratulations. You have just won a Grateful AF. Should I change for the next session? I don't know. Maybe I'm going to get a little frisky and I'm going to change. I love you guys so much. I'm so excited. Thank you for being here. And I will see you guys at 2:10. Bye.